Hello guys and girls, welcome back to another video. Today we're going to learn how to do the basic setup on your guitar. Let's go! So, this is the Harley Benton JL Baritone that I review. If you want to look at the video, you can check it up here or in the description. But since the day I did the review, I haven't changed the strings. It was still on the original string from factory, and I didn't touch the intonation, the neck relief, the frets, and especially the frets. As I said in the review, they were a little bit scratchy and they needed to be polished. And so today I want to show you the basic treatment that almost any entry-level instrument, and sometimes even higher-end ones, need when you get them from the factory, which is usually check the neck relief, check the intonation, check the action, check if the frets need to be polished. On this guitar especially needed the polishing. So yeah, let's dive in. So for this procedure we're gonna need some cutters, the string winder, which is gonna help make things faster, your set of strings. In this case I'm using the 8-string set, but I can adapt it by just using 6 of them for this baritone guitar. And these things right here, it's very useful. It's called the fret eraser, and these basically are 3 different grades of sanding blocks that you can use to polish the frets out. And this guitar has not been serviced since it got here from Toman, so the frets really needs to be polished. Also, we're going to need some kind of tape to cover the frets, to cover the fretboard while we are working on it. But first, we need to remove the strings. Let's do it. So now it's the right time to polish the body of the guitar, because without the strings it's easier. In this case it's black, so there's only that much they can do to make it as perfect as possible. The moment I will touch it, it's going to get dirty again. But now we want to treat this fretboard. So let's zoom in and I'll show you what I do. First, we've got some of this tape, and we start to protect the fingerboard. Don't use I prefer painter's tape because it's less strong and it doesn't leave any adhesive on the fretboard. You also want to cover up the pole pieces of the pickup, because since they are magnetic, they tend to collect the dust from the frets when you're polishing, and so cover them up. So now that we've done that, we can use the fret eraser. You don't have to use these ones in particular, but I find myself comfortable with these because they are a bit expensive, but they work really well and they tend to last a lot. The thing is, you don't want to be too heavy with them because you may end up damaging the frets. You only want to polish them, you don't want to change the shape of them. So be gentle. You should start from the 400, from the 180, and work your way up. In this case the frets don't have any imperfections in them, so I will probably go with the 400 ones and then move up to the 1000 grit one. So you need to, whatever the tool is, be gentle. You don't need to go full power on them. Yeah, you just want to polish the frets a bit. You can see it with your eyes when you're doing that. you want to follow the shape of the fret, so try to go around it and up with it, and you can see it's starting to leave these signs of metal. Of course, this is a lot of times I use this, and you're gonna polish them a bit. Don't press on them, don't put too much pressure, you just want to gently slide on the fret, and then you can do that for all the frets on the fretboard. Take your time, but don't concentrate too much on one particular fret, because you don't want to change the height of one fret. You just want to polish them. We are not crowning them, because I can't do that. I'm not a luthier, so I won't try to do that, and I don't want to damage the fret. So I'm just going to be gentle and work my way up the neck. Slowly and carefully. Usually the worst ones are the ones in the upper register, because those are the ones that you may use less. Even though you go soloing on them, they're usually the ones that are less polished from factory, because most of the people, especially in cheaper instruments, they usually work up until the 15th fret maybe, and then they leave alone these, because it's easier to hit the body with the tools, so you don't want to damage the finish on the body, and most people will only live here, so why bother? Once you've done this, you're gonna go to the higher grit, in this case the 1000, and do the same again. Do first, do the less. Notice the dust on the frets. With this one you can go a little harder, but not too much. Now, let's clean the fretboard. We have to remove the tape first. Try to collect the dust and not make it fall on the guitar. Now we want to condition the fretboard. To do that, I'm going to use some lemon oil. You can use whatever kind of conditioner you want. This wood is very dry. This is the third time that I do this on this fretboard, and yeah, it's pretty dry, so I need to get a little wild with it. You don't want to put too much, and you don't want to put too little. Once you've done that, you're going to spread it over the frets with some tape, some paper, whatever you want. Just spread it all over the fretboard and leave it there for a while. This fretboard is really dry, so I think I'm going to leave it like this, because it needs to soak some of this conditioner up. In this case, the frets were clean, the fretboard was clean, but whether if you're cleaning, if you need to remove some of the grime, especially from this kind of dark fretboards, tend to retain the dirt, and so you will probably need something more hard than just toilet paper and microfiber cloth. You can go a little wild by using razor blades to remove the dirt, but you need to be careful, in order not to damage the fretboard. Let's remove the excess from the fretboard. And we're good. Now we're going to tune it and to check for the intonation. So, to check for the octaves, we need to first tune the guitar, in particular the string we are trying to check. Play the open string, check if it is tuned. This one is a little flat. It needs to be perfectly tuned. And now we're going to play the same string but at the 12th fret. First, we need to do this setup while we're holding the guitar in this playing position, because if you do that on a flat surface and you get intonation right like this, the moment you pick it up, you're going to apply a different pressure on the strings and the intonation will be slightly off. So remember to set up the intonation, also the truss rod, when you're holding the guitar up. It's much more accurate than doing on a flat surface like on your table, on your bed, something like that. Now, if it is, this one is perfect. Okay, let's go for the second one. If it is a little sharp, you need to move the point where the string starts away from the fretboard and to turn the screwdriver clockwise. If it is flat, you need to do the opposite. So bring the point where the strings starts closer to the fretboard. So in this case, it was a little sharp, so I want to move the thing away from the fretboard just a little bit, and with trial and error we should get. Of course, every time you make an adjustment, you're going to change the tuning of the particular string, so you need to again check the tuning open string and then check at the 12th. It's a little time consuming, but you usually do it once, unless you change string gauge often. If you stick with the kind of string gauge, once you set it up, it should stay the same. We are almost there. A little bit more. Remember to stretch the string because it can be caught up at the nut, at the string tree, or at the bridge, depending on the construction of the guitar. Okay, good. Now we're going to do this for all the strings and then we're done. So now we're back with the polished frets, the intonation and the action is set up. The only thing that's left to do is the neck relief. So to set the truss rod, most guitars usually have either this type of hex screw, which can change the dimension between brands, or these two. For Gibson and PRS, they usually use this one. This particular one is for PRS. But for this one, it's kind of like the Fender one, so you have to turn it from the top. Some guitars have it right down at the neck, and you need to remove the neck to check for the truss rod, like vintage Fenders or vintage inspired Fenders are like that. First of all, like all of the other thing that we did, we need to do it like in the playing position. So you will, you can do it without, but if you have it, you can help yourself with a capo. You put the capo on the first fret, then you go to the 12th or the 15th fret, it's almost the same, and you press there. This way the string will act as a ruler because it's perfectly straight now, and this way you can check the relief that you have on the neck by simply tapping on the around the 8th, 7th fret of the string while you are still pressing on the 12th. This way you can feel that you have some kind of relief. Yes, some people try to use rulers and gauges and, you know, get very precise with that, but I prefer to do it by feel. So I used to feel what I like as an action, and if there is too much distance between when you press the string to the fret, you will have probably a little too much of a bow, front bow to the neck, so you will have to turn it a bit and straighten it up. If you have little to no movement of the string while you are still pressing it, it's too straight and you probably need a bit of relief. So you will need to release the pressure and, you know, get it to a little bit of bow. Once you've decided which direction you have to go, you will have to do this in very small adjustments. So you will go a little bit of a turn. So I'll show you. You put the X screw in place, then you turn a bit. In this case, the truss rod is perfectly good as it is, but if you need to tighten, you just have to remember that righty tighty, lefty loosey. So if you don't remember which way you have to go, remember that righty tighty, lefty loosey. So on the left, if you turn it to the left, you're going to loosen it up, so increase the bow. If you're going to turn it to the right, you're going to straighten it, reduce the bow, and therefore you are tightening up. Remember to do very small turn. It's usually not necessary to do more than a 1/8 of turn, but take your time. If you feel the truss rod is too tight to turn, you may be at the end of it, so it probably needs to be taken to guitar tech. But it should be pretty easy to turn, especially when you're loosening it up. So this is the basic setup that I do to all my instruments, whether they are new or used. And if you are going from a different set of strings, so for example if you're going from 9 gauge to 10 gauge, you will probably need to adjust the intonation, the action, the relief. So this is it for today. Let me know in the comments if you like this video, and I'll catch you in the next one. See ya!